So your upcoming tour, Dying of Everything, in New Zealand and Australia, January 2024. How long has that album been in the works? Because there was a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, I mean it's been out for just literally just about a year now. But that was one of the pandemic kind of beasts, that we had a lot of time off like everybody during the pandemic, which is really where we spent a lot of our time putting it together. But like with most of our records, we're kind of constantly picking at rhythms and ideas as we go along. I mean, it could be a sound check or something, and Trevor plugs in sometimes and he hits something, and we'll make note of it or hum it on his phone or something like that. And anytime we get in the studio, we kind of record and start tracks and keep little snippets of things that we kind of come across as we go. And then when it does come time to doing albums, we kind of dig back and start going through all ideas and start putting them together and going from there. But the pandemic gave us a nice long time off to sit and record and write and mess with those songs a lot. And of course, the pandemic ends, we get back on tour, and we're still trying to finish mixing the record while we're on the road. But that's just the way that
Yeah,
always goes.
that's awesome. I love that. Like this album specifically, like I think it sounds like a little bit different. Like you got the classic growls, the riffs are super, super groovy, and
Yeah,
obviously Donald's drum work is insane, always is.
yeah.
It's like unmistakably obituary, love it. As time goes on, you articulate your words a lot more in your music. Is that like a deliberate evolution?
I mean, I don't think it's a conscious effort on my part to say necessarily do that. But I mean, I have been doing that. Maybe it's just being a little bit more comfortable in the lyrics that I've been writing. Um, Early on, I loved singing and I loved doing that. Lyrics wasn't always my favorite thing to do. And if you look back at Slowly Rot, even then, when we wrote a lot of Slowly Rot, I think it was even at the time, it was kind of like, I think, Donald and Trevor and I kind of started jamming, but they were always like, we need to kind of find a singer kind of thing. But they're always at my house, so I was always the one that started doing it. Um, and I just would kind of start singing stuff and make up stuff as I go along. I just made up a lot of sounds and things as we did it. But, over the years, I've written more and more lyrics. And, I think some of on the new album is just some of the most I've really gotten into doing lyrics. So, maybe I'm just a little bit more confident in the stuff that I'm writing. So it makes me want to enunciate a little, closer or a
You,
little better.
you,
So, but not a conscious effort, just kind of something that the
yeah,
way it's done, it kind of goes.
you, you definitely can tell in your newer album verse, yeah, slowly we roll it, and like all of those earlier ones, like the lyrics different entirely.
Yeah, they're fun to this day to
Um,
sing those songs because I'm like, oh, that's great. Didn't sing anything there, just mumbled through it. All right, let's go with it.
Wait, if it sounds good, it sounds good. You don't mess with the
Exactly.
process. Have you got anything super cool planned to do while you're in Australia? Like, is there anything you're pretty keen to get into?
I mean, we just like going out and having a good time, especially with all the people. We just love the Australian kids are just great, so we really love being out in public and going about and hitting bars and things like that. Obviously, once we hit the ground, we kind of get running and we do a lot of shows and it's a lot of travel and you're not going to have a ton of time to go off and do too much. Um, but we love going to Australia. I would if the shows weren't as cool and the people weren't as cool, I would not make that flight there. I can promise you that.
It's such like a mission away from everything.
It's terrible, terrible flight, man. Woo. So
Oh man. Um, okay, so you're obviously massively long-standing band, like been around for ages. Do you find the younger crowd brings a bit of a different vibe than your OG older crowd?
I don't know. I mean, I think kind of metal kids are metal kids, really, no matter where you go in the world and no matter really what age they are. Younger kids are not younger kids for sure. But yeah, I mean, in particular, I mean, we have seen so many young kids coming out to our shows. It's been absolutely amazing. We get a lot of our fans bringing their kids, and even their kids are now teenagers and things like that. So it's really good to see that. And I'm not quite so sure that we would really be doing what we're doing the way we're doing it now if it wasn't for the amount of young kids coming out. We're just not a band to beat a dead horse. If we thought we were, just out going through the motions, trying to play shows and just struggling through stuff, it would not be something we would do. So when we're allowed to have this much fun and see these young kids coming out, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, well, you're definitely not beating a dead horse. Like you're still top tier. Like that's not going anywhere.
All right.
Um, do you have like a most memorable show you've played? Like something that really stands out?
Golly, that's a lot of shows and a lot of
I
cool
know.
shows, you know. Um, and it, and it's tough. People ask you all the time, do you like the big festivals or do you like the small clubs? And it's like they're so different and both so cool that it's kind of hard to explain what it feels like to walk out and say there's 80,000 kids out there at a festival and what that makes you feel like. Literally will take your breath away. Um, but at the same time, when you got 400 kids packed in a place that holds 300 and they're face to face with you on the stage and you got that feeling in a room, it's very cool also. So they're just two completely different worlds as far as that goes. And we just been real fortunate to be able to travel the world, all the way from Australia and Japan to South America and just everywhere in between. That just to meet kids and people from different countries is just it's really, really cool thing to do. So
That that is super, super cool. Like
yeah,
amazing to have that kind of opportunity.
it's awesome.
Um, oh, totally. Like I
Yeah,
personally, I love the smaller shows because they are
yeah,
so intimate and it's like, holy shit, so
yeah.
good.
No, it's hard. It's obviously it's much easier to connect with an audience when I literally can reach out and grab a hold of somebody, as opposed to some of these big festivals when I might have 20 or 30 feet between me and the first row of kids, and it's
Oh, massive.
totally different feeling. Although the sea of people is cool, but it's two totally different worlds.
Absolutely. Like, do you have any softer artists that you listen to? Like, what's your like real chill music?
I listen to everything. In fact, I just went and saw Dwight Yoakam last weekend here in Tampa. And he's a country. I don't know if you ever heard of Dwight Yoakam. He's a country guy,
No, I
but oh
haven't.
my God, he is just, I mean, he's one of the biggest country stars of all time. And he was just, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's got to be approaching probably 70. Um, and he sounded so good that I just absolutely loved it. So, but I love country. I love blues. I listen to just a little bit of everything. So
That's also, I'm gonna listen to him on my way to work because now I
he's
have to.
awesome. Yeah, no, you definitely hit him up, man. He's just a classic for sure.
I love like I like Australian country, but it's because it's really spoken. Like I like that.
Right, right. Cool.
Okay, do you have any like big hobbies besides music?
I love motorcycles and fishing. And
Fishing,
we do
classic.
and we watch lots of sports. I mean, we just live with the TV on and watching, all kinds of motorsports and football and hockey and all kinds of stuff. But we're from Florida, so we're surrounded by water. So to take the boat out, go do some fishing or some skiing, it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Like everything that I've seen of you guys, like you're really just a bunch of dudes chilling, having a good time. Like it's so
Pretty
cool.
much, yeah. Our studio. I don't know if you saw any of the live streams, but I mean, you see our studio. We just got the TVs out there. It's like a sports bar slash studio. Is how we look at it. So,
Oh, that's what you want. Nice, comfortable, chill place.
yeah, yep, exactly.
Oh
So
man.
you'll be in the middle recording, and the dogs will come walking in and out, and you just be like, it's all good. Just keep going, man. It's all good.
Oh, I love that so much. Um, so your brother has metal meowlicia. Like,
Yeah.
is that still a thing?
It is. He's just been on this, and for as long as I can remember, he's been into his cats, and he goes out and takes care of some feral colonies, and he's always out doing something with stray cats and whatever they do with those things. But I think he's a half out of his mind, but at the same time, it's a good thing that he does.
Nah, like I'm a cat guy. Like if I had the opportunity to do that, I would be taking in all the strays.
Yeah, well, you
Do
guys
you
can
have
talk for
anything to
hours
do with
on this.
it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I just have to listen to him talk about it all the time. So.
Close enough. Love that.
Yeah. So,
Um, okay, so when you started, what were your most influential bands?
yeah. I mean, we've loved music for as long as I can remember. I mean, we had an older brother, but ever since I can remember, my older brother was into a lot of Southern rock and a lot of classic rock. And I just remember him playing albums and me and DT just in there, just soaking up all of it. We used to listen to all of it. And then at an early, once when we were kind of in high school, even before we started jamming or even thought that we wanted to do anything, we had some of the guys in like Nasty Savage that lived in our neighborhoods. So we'd be like on our bicycles and we'd ride by. They'd be in there practicing and we'd be like, stopping, trying to hear them and get a glimpse of them. We just kind of found it fascinating early on. And between them and Sabotage, those are the first kind of bands that really got us wanting to start jamming. So Trevor went and got a guitar. DT, we had to borrow some drums, and that's when I would just kind of start singing because we would just be in the garage and jamming. So they're the ones that kind of really got us into wanting to start a band. And then when we heard that early Hellhammer and Celtic Frost and Slayer stuff, it's really kind of what opened our eyes to really what turned us on to what kind of music we wanted to play. And we had just always kind of wanted to be heavier and heavier with everything that we did. It's pretty cool the way things work out.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I like the little evolution, like heavier and
Yeah,
heavier. It's what you want.
yeah, yeah. But it's also I think it's where a lot of that cool groove stuff that we come up with. We just grew up with a lot of good Southern rock and a lot of good classic rock, kind of Led Zeppelin and all kinds of stuff. So
Awesome.
we love that. We like going fast, we like going slow, but it's definitely that what we call meat and potatoes that we thrive on. That we love to come across. So
It really is like it's very classic and I love it. So you're like I think your newer album's probably a little bit faster than your older stuff. And
well,
like
I
I
know
love
I know
that.
the first song. It's with DT always he always laughs. It's like the fastest double bass we've ever made him do. And
Oh,
here
it's
we're all
awesome.
we're all 50 years old now. So and it's like it's taken this long, and we're making the poor kid go at the double bass faster than he ever has done it. But um, but he has fun. The studio's here at my house. He's here every day almost, if not 6 days a week. He comes over and he goes out and plays in the studio. We mess around, do the business stuff we got to do, and he's always in and out. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, the intro to Barely Alive, like the vocals with like everything that goes with it, like gorgeous.
A lot of fun stuff. It's cool when you have the time to have some songs and mess with them for a while and put them off to the shelf. It's great to get started, put some stuff together, and then you don't listen to it for a month and a half or something, and then you come back to it, and then stuff kind of comes to your mind fresh. And when you have a lot of time like we did during the pandemic, it really gave us time to let the songs kind of grow, feel them out, and be able to add some cool stuff here and there to them. So there's
That's
nothing
awesome because yeah,
there's nothing worse than being rushed with a song. And even if it's a cool idea, get it down, write it, record it, because you listen to it and a year later and you're like, damn, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I could have done that. And the longer you let those songs grow and you can sit and mess with them, the less of that you have. You'll always get that no matter what, but the less of it that you do have, you give yourself that time.
yeah, because you usually leave a few years in between each album, hey?
Yeah, we always do that anyway. I mean, hell, we just never been the band to put out albums every year, every other year. Other than I think Slowly and Cause were pretty close. But other than that, we're okay to sit back. And now with the touring, we just find that it really takes us 3 or 4 years just to cover all parts of the globe and get everything done with that album. And heck, people don't buy the albums that much anymore anyway, so you really kind of got to get your money out of
Well, totally just milk it as much as you can.
them. Yeah. So.
Oh man, at least like, you get to see everywhere every time and like the crowd are always like they're always going to be the same amount of G'd up to see you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool. And we always love playing new songs. I know a lot of people go out in bands, it's like, even bands that I see, I go to see Slayer and I'm out there yelling Hello Aches and I want to hear Rain and Blood. I'm just like that too. But, we always like
Totally.
playing our new stuff. They're new to us and it's just, we have fun with it. So, we force feed it down people's necks anyway. So,
Yeah, do you have any like clues about your set list for Australia?
we do, but if I told you, I'd have to kill you. No,
Damn, damn.
I mean, it's challenging nowadays with such a large catalog of stuff, to pick all the songs that you want. It's tough to go through. Like I said, we do like playing a lot, and you're going to get a heavy dose of the new album. I'm sure we're going to be playing 4 or 5 songs off of it. So that probably only leaves about 6 or 7 classic songs off of so many records to fit in there that
I
we do the
know.
best we can to kind of pick something off of every record, but it still gets challenging to do.
Oh, totally, totally. Um, do you have any like favorite foods that you like have on tour or like something you can't live without when you're on tour?
No, mostly just alcohol, but other. No,
No,
I mean
I feel
touring
that.
can get, touring on the road can get a little challenging. So you just try to eat when you can, the best you can. Um, but sometimes when you travel, but nothing really in particular. No.
No, that's awesome. Uh, what does the future hold for Obituary? Are you going to take another little break or are you going to bring out another album? Like anything in the works? I suppose it's super soon, but
It's super soon. I mean, like I said, I mean, I think the new album is just now a year old, and we still have a lot of stuff coming up that we're going to do. The Amon Amarth tour out in the saw just got announced, so we're going to be doing a tour with America, with Amon Amarth and Cannibal Corpse in America. That poster hit today. If you haven't seen it,
I
so
haven't
we've
seen
been
it
sitting
yet.
on that news for a while. And we also have another couple of tours that haven't been announced yet that I can't say anything about. So yeah, we have a lot going on. And like I said, we like to take our time with the songs and let them come to us. And, so nothing anytime soon.
No, that's super cool though. The one with Cannibal Corpse and Amon Amarth will be awesome.
It's going to be pretty sick. It's just that the poster literally got announced today. So
I'm gonna
doesn't do
go
you
have a look
guys
at
any
it.
good, but we are doing that in America. So
Hey, it's good for them. It's good for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Um, do you have any upcoming bands that's around that you reckon to keep an eye on? Is there anything stand out for you?
Um, that's a tough one. I mean, uh, I'm just so into all my old music that I listen to, and even the old bands that I go and see. In fact, just went and saw Exodus and um, As I Lay Dying. That was a great story
Oh,
that I just went to.
nice.
And just good friends with the Exodus guys, so it's always good to see them. But uh, so I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now, but most of the time that's kind of Terry Butler's. He's like an encyclopedia of music. I mean, half the time if you bring up something about Obituary, I'll be sitting there going, God, I don't remember that. Terry goes like, yeah, you guys were on tour with so and so back in 1977. You did these dates. I'm like, okay, I don't even remember that, so I don't know how you remember that stuff, but
It's like, I don't know,
anyway.
I was there, man. I don't remember it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It
Uh,
has been awesome having Terry. We've had the same lineup for now for a little while, but we've known Terry for so long. We've known him before we were in bands. And then he was in Massacre early on when we started the early Executioner stuff, and we've known him for so long that it just kind of feels like he's been in the band forever.
yeah.
So it's super cool having him around all the time.
That's
Lads,
cool, man.
we are literally running over right now. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah,
looked at
okay.
the clock. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right.
John, thank you very much for your time. And Maddie, you
Okay.
absolutely killed it. This is the first interview, if you can believe it. She crushed it. So I'm going to close the room, guys, so we can get on. John, thank you very
Yeah,
much for your time.
no problem. Hey, thank you very much. It's nice meeting you guys.
No
Nice
worries.
meeting you. Have a great day. See
Hey,
ya.
please,
See you,
if
everyone.
you're gonna come out to the show, please hit us up. Maybe we'll have a beer or something like that.
Yes, I will. I will.
Be
Please.
great to meet you. Thank you so much.
See
All
you,
right.
man.
Okay,
See you,
bye.
John. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.